Fellas, welcome back to the Barely Noticed podcast. I am your host, Sick Boy, along with my co-host, Crawdaddy.
Yo.
We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. Find us, linked in the description. You know the whole dealio. It's been a while. We've been
It's been a
busy.
minute.
I've been busy. Crawdaddy's been busy. Life has been busy. We got a lot of notes to get through, some talking points. Last week I was just way too busy. I've been traveling. I was at a wedding. I had to go to Florida to pick up a cat, the cat, and I'm finally back now. Crawdaddy has been busy with college. Tell us what your endeavors, Crawdaddy. How's school going?
It's been pretty good. I actually came home Thursday and left like Friday because I had to get back because I had school stuff and for my brother and mom's birthday. But besides that, it's the usual homework stuff.
Same old, same old. Would you say that this is looking like one of the busier times you've been in school, or is it starting to slow down?
I'd say it's about average to be honest. It's about every other one. It's just I got two big projects due.
Getting some senioritis?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to be done.
Dude, I was that way when I went to the trade school, and then when I was in high school, that senior year, I took the easiest I got all my credits early on, and then my senior year, I just pissed around and took super easy classes. Like my senior year for I think it was 2 straight semesters. I took a basketball class,
Oh,
or I had 8 periods a day, and just for 45 minutes, I just go play basketball. And then that was around the time COVID and everything was happening. So then I didn't have a final exam, which would have just been like on the rules of basketball. So I didn't have to take any tests, answer any questions, do anything. I would go to a period, change clothes, play as much basketball as I wanted to for 45 minutes, and then just change and go to my next class. And it was like the first class of the day.
you're getting there early.
It's a good way to start the day. We have had a lot happen with that missed week. I've had a lot happen. I will address this first of all. I think it's a good thing to start with. In the event that uploads slow down from me. So what happened in the past month and a half for me is I had become unemployed. As we've mentioned before, the landscaping company that me and Crawdaddy worked for ended up going under. I left because I didn't want to work there anymore, and it was right before it went under. And then Crawdaddy went back to school, and then after that, Sick Boy didn't have anything to do, so I just kind of been coasting off my savings, looking for work, trying to figure things out. And I finally found a new full-time job, lots of hours. It's going to keep me pretty busy. 2 jobs actually, one to keep me busy through the week, and then one on the weekends here and there. So I don't think it's going to dramatically hinder uploads and things too much because I feel like I'm pretty good at managing that, blocking off time and taking care of things, especially because it's something I enjoy doing and want to keep up with. So, in the event that it does slow down, that's why, so you guys all know. But I don't think it should be. I did an absolute play of the game having in my time where I wasn't employed, I just edited videos every single day. I would wake up, go to my desk, and then I would be there all day and then just go right from my desk back to my bed. So I'd scheduled a ton of YouTube videos. So these past 3 or 4 weeks, I haven't edited at all. Those have just been videos that I already had scheduled to come out. So it's been perfect, dude. It's been so nice. And especially with how busy I've been traveling and all that, I would have never had any time to do it. So that worked out really well. The most recent video, the Jackbox Games video, ended up doing better than I thought it would. I haven't checked it in a while, but it's doing better than what was the other one we did? The Cards Against Humanity, which I personally
Oh
thought
yeah.
the Cards Against Humanity was a better video, but the Jackbox Games video is doing better. Pretty unhinged. I went back after I had scheduled it, and in the description, I put like the disclaimer. Did you see that at all?
Yeah, so
I put that disclaimer because there was some pretty wild stuff in that video. I was like, this is satire. It's for shock value, like in all caps, so people don't think that we're all neo Nazis.
it was pretty dark.
There was some wild stuff in that video. So that might be, I mean, I feel like the Cards Against Humanity was pretty off the rails. But I guess the Jackbox Games one, people liked it more.
The cars one, you had to blur half of them anyway, so they couldn't tell.
Yeah, that might be some of it. And then for the Jackbox Games. I just left everything. I mean, there were certain things that I just could not leave unblurred in the other one,
Yeah.
and this one there was a little bit more leeway. So that video did really good. My new biggest video on my channel, who would have ever freaking thought, was the BattleBit video. I can't remember the exact title of the video, but it's the one with the thumbnail where I'm saying I'm the new Chris Kyle. Why
Yeah.
why can I not remember what the name of that video is? But that's one of those videos where I made it, uploaded it. I was just kind of putting it up for the week. I wasn't thinking of anything crazy, and that has ended up being my biggest video. It happens every single time. I'll put a ton of effort into a video. I'm like, this is the biggest video on the channel now, and then it gets like not good or moderate views, and then I'll upload something just to keep up with the schedule, and then it's like, oh, by the way, new biggest video. Last time I checked, I believe it's at 668.
Yeah, I don't even remember recording that. It's like just left my mind and then it just popped up and it did so well.
Just a blur, dude. And that, as it always happens, ended up being the biggest video. Now that we're talking about it, I might as well bring it up so that if somebody wants to watch it. It is called, man, this was so long ago, almost a month ago. These battlefields are ruthless. The thumbnail is me with the sniper scope, and it's at 662 is what it's at. So it has surpassed. Who would have thought the BattleBit videos always do pretty decently? And my most recent CS:GO one, I was really confident about, didn't end up doing so well. It's hit or miss, dude. I don't know if it's the
Yeah.
algorithm. I don't know if the actual videos themselves are just not as good as I think they are sometimes. But there is no rhyme or reason. At least right now, it seems like there's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah, it's just whatever the YouTube gods decide, I guess.
And I'm a smaller channel, so it's just like whatever you throw at the wall, see what sticks, and figuring it out. So we're trying a bunch of different content. I've got some really fun ideas for some stuff I want to do in the future. I've already mentioned things about Halloween. I want to play Five Nights at Freddy's or other scary games. Maybe Tyler and I playing it together.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of doing more. Like, I was thinking of playing CS:GO matches and then buying different mice. So like getting really old like Windows 98 mice, and then doing a video of like playing CS:GO with different mice, and just having,
Yeah.
or finding like really weird obscure ones on eBay or stuff like that. As I woke up from sleeping one day, and I just woke up and I randomly thought of that, and I was like, that'd be sick.
Have a mice cam and everything.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could definitely do that. Set up a mice cams or mouse cam. I don't know, whatever. But that could be fun. There's a reaction video coming out this week that Crawdaddy and I did that I think is really fun. I'm very excited for it. It might absolutely flop because it's a reaction video. I have no idea, but I liked it. Crawdaddy liked it. That's all that matters.
Some weird stuff popped up.
It's good. It's a good video. We're testing the waters to see, like I said, we're throwing stuff up, seeing what sticks. So something I wanted to address is not address. That sounds so serious. So I was in Florida going to pick up the cat from my dad, and while I was there, the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins were playing. So we got done doing stuff for the whole day, and we're like, you know what? We'll just sit down and watch the game, hang out. I'm not a huge football guy, but I'll watch it. Like, I don't know all the plays out of the playbook or whatever. So the last time I watched the Dolphins play was like 2 years ago, maybe. And my brother-in-law is a big Alabama fan, and Tua, the quarterback for the Dolphins, is from Alabama. And he had a little row of like where he was getting concussed, and it was a really big deal because he keeps getting concussed and he keeps playing, and they're like big time concussions. So 2 years ago, me and my brother-in-law are sitting down watching the Dolphins play. I never sit down to watch football games. We watch that game. He gets concussed super bad, gets taken off the field. I want to say he was out the rest of the season, or he didn't play for a really long time, something along those lines. Haven't watched the Miami Dolphins since. 2 years later, randomly on a whim, I sit down with my dad, watch the Dolphins and the Bills play, and then Tua gets concussed this past what was it, Wednesday or Thursday? Or Thursday, because it was
Thursday.
Thursday night football. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see him go down. He's leaning his head down to, go up against the defender. And in my head, I'm thinking like, man, that's a like bold play from a guy who has been getting a ton of concussions. Like he's essentially a vegetable. And then
Yeah.
sure enough, he gets hit and he's laying on the ground. And I was like, man, that looked pretty tough. Like I said that to my dad, and you see his fingers start to curl up and his arms start to
Yeah.
curl up, and I was like, dang, there it is. So
I was gonna say he looked like he was like tweaking out on the ground
yeah,
because I saw
dude.
the clip.
It was seeing that in live time. Like, it's one thing when you see big things that happen and there's highlights of it on Twitter or like, after the fact. When you see stuff happen live, and I know I wasn't at the stadium live watching it, but the fact that I saw it live on TV before they censor the replays or whatever the case is, I was like, oh, like I felt it wasn't funny. Like I didn't think it was funny or anything. I felt bad. I was like, dang, dude, like you can see his fingers curling up and everything, and it sucks. I can't believe they
It's
let
your
that guy
fault.
still play football. Yeah, it is my fault. Every time I watch him play, something happens. But I can't believe they still let that guy play football after all the times that I just he. There's got to be a point where you say, I think that's enough.
He's gonna have the most CTE riddled brain out of anybody.
I think for North Carolina and the Panthers, is it Luke Kuechly who could be playing like probably another 5 years and he retired early because he got a bunch of concussions and he was like, I think I'm just going to take care of myself and like I don't want to risk it. I want to say it's Luke
I don't
Kuechly.
know.
I think it was him. I think Tua needs to pull Luke Kuechly. He's already made all the money he'll ever need for
Yeah.
probably 3 lifetimes. So maybe be a commentator. I don't know. Do some coaching on the side, but you got a family. You got kids. You got a wife. You don't want to be a CTE, literally brain dead zombie.
Don't want to end up like Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. Literally so sad. So I I need to stop watching the Dolphins. Dolphins
Yeah, don't.
fans, NFL fans in general. I am sorry. That was my bad. That's my bad.
Sounds like you got canceled.
It's my bad. Yeah, I did something like that.
I gotta address this.
And besides that, while I was there, another big event that happened last week was the debate, which I was really looking forward to because these are the two official presidential candidates, and I was very excited to see how it was going to go, who would do what, and just so disappointing from both sides. Like I don't think he did very well. I don't think she did very well. Like he came off really aggressive and was fighting like very.
Yeah.
He was looking for a fight, and then
He was
she
taking the
just
bait.
yeah, he was taking the bait every single time, and then she never answered a question straight. So you really didn't learn anything. I don't Republican, Democrat, centrist, independent. That's the word I'm looking for. It was just wasn't good for anybody. I don't think anybody did well. Nothing got solved. It was just took up time,
As politics go.
as it always goes. Yeah, I was so
Nothing
disappointed,
nothing was resolved.
and I watched the whole thing afterward. I still didn't feel super good about it. And then me and my dad were watching like analysis of it afterward. And there's a guy on the news, and he said, I went back and watched the whole thing another time to get more analysis out of it. And if you're thinking about watching it for a second time, don't. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a letdown because when it comes to stuff like that, like presidential or like big government things, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, I think it's so important to watch it or to keep up with it because that's American history. There was a day when Richard Nixon addressed the nation, and I don't think anybody thought he's going to resign. And during that addressing the nation, he resigned as president. Or,
Yeah.
talking about going to war or killing a certain terrorist or the sexual relations with both, like you never know what's gonna happen. So I think when there's an addressing the nation or being before Congress, the debates, all of it, all that stuff needs to be watched because you are participating in history in real time. I think it's
Yeah.
so important, and you never know what you're gonna see,
Especially with Trump.
especially with him. If you watch the debate with him and Biden, that's a thing where you probably didn't think much of it, and then you watched it, and you're like, "Holy cow!
That was
What
funny.
what is the leader of our free world doing?" It's important. Those things are important to keep up with. I'm going into Alex Jones territory.
Yeah.
But I think that's like, as an American, like that is a duty as a citizen. Like you have to
Oh,
keep up with that.
there was one funny moment. It was like, "Shut up! I'm talking. I'm talking. I'm talking
Oh
right now."
yeah, I think 'cause she did that to Pence, where she like cut him
Yeah.
off, and then he was like, he said something like, "How do you like it?" or whatever, and then
Yeah.
they're making faces back and forth, and it was just stupid. But on that topic, he almost got killed again yesterday.
Yep.
I could not. I feel like we live in like a third world country, like a Congo or something. This is insane.
We live in the Soviet Union. It
The
was
f- the fact that a real sentence that is about to leave my mouth, the fact that Donald Trump has had two assassination attempts in his run for the presidency, the fact that I just said that sentence out loud is insane.
that has to be the most out of any candidate easily, or like at least president.
I don't know all the
It's
history
usually one
behind
and
it.
it's usually one and done.
The fact that there's been two, and so did you see the details about it?
I haven't read fully. I just know the dude like jumped the fence into Mar-a-Lago or something, right?
So he's on the fence at the edge of Mar-a-Lago in the bushes, and then he has two like bulletproof plates hanging on the fence, and he's pointing his gun through the fence, like a hole in the fence. And
Oh,
then he has a GoPro next to where he's aiming down the sights of his gun. So I guess he
oh
was gonna try
shit!
to kill him and like, post it or put it out live or whatever.
Oh my lord!
Bro was literally trying to play, oh, what's that game? Ready or Not, with the
Oh my
like body
god!
cam footage. I mean, it's
My
not funny.
guy,
It's not funny, but
my guy had the Warzone plates, bro.
not even joking. Like actually had two Warzone plates so that if anybody shot back at him, he'd have coverage. So I guess the Secret Service agents saw him in the bushes. They shot a few shots at him. Then he got away in a car, and then some just random pedestrian took a picture of the car, the license plate. He was like, "Hey, here's the exact person." And they like 20 cars chased him on the highway. A helicopter. It literally 5 stars GTA
God,
captured this guy, and I guess I don't know if he's on trial right now or he's going to be in the next few days, but the fact that Donald Trump has had two assassination attempts on him within, what is that, 2 months, 3 months,
yeah,
two and a half
it's
months, something like that.
a very short amount of time.
That's like we're America, dude. That's stuff you hear about
Yeah,
in countries across the way. You don't hear
yeah,
about that in maybe Europe, but Middle East, African countries, something. It's just
like a Chinese diplomat disappearing or
yeah,
something.
absolutely absurd craziness. Everybody needs to calm down. Stop it. If you're listening to this, stop it.
I love how the Secret Service, like, they probably saw him like, all right, we cannot mess up again. We gotta shoot him this time.
Yeah, they probably didn't even think twice about being like, "Hey, what's going on, dude?" They just saw him, and the guy was like, "All right, get the AR out."
Yeah.
But they're going to be under, I think, the police chief of whatever county or area that Mar-a-Lago is in. His excuse for the guy even getting that close is, if Donald Trump was the current president, he'd have every Secret Service agent, everybody possible, covering every square inch of there. But because he's just a president elect, it doesn't warrant having as much security, which I guess I understand.
But he was also the former president.
That's also, yeah. So I still think it's inexcusable. I still think it makes them all look really bad. Uh,
Like, there's no other candidate getting shot at.
yeah, it's not happening to Kamala. It's not happening to Biden or anybody else. And there were people saying that like the Trump campaign is like staging it to make. What? There's no way.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I don't think so.
we'll get off of politics. That's enough of that. It's just
Yeah.
more American craziness going on, dude.
Another day in the US of A.
Have you seen the thing with Nikocado?
Yeah, dude, I put that in there too.
Okay, we both put it in. Okay,
Yeah.
so for those of you who don't know, Nikocado Avocado is this guy who does like mukbangs where he eats an absurd amount of food at one time. And it's kind of like a food review. And then sometimes he just breaks down on camera and has a mental breakdown while shoving noodles in his face. They're really weird. But
Very
he
sad.
he was gaining a ton of weight off of it, like ridiculously obese, like gross. It was sad. Like at first it was funny. It was like, oh, this guy's eating a ton of food. He cries sometimes while he eats the
Yeah.
food. And then it just got sad and people were concerned for him. He has been posting, he's had an insane backlog of videos that he's been posting on his channel for 2 years. And apparently, during these past 2 years, he lost 250 pounds.
Yeah, I saw it was like 13 pounds a month or something like that.
So
Something crazy.
he just made a ton of videos while he was still super fat. This entire time, he's been pretending or putting on the facade that he is still in that same state. So he has a video where he does like a mukbang or some kind of food, something, and the video he posted the next day is the one of him 250 pounds down.
Yeah.
He pulled the slipperooski of the century.
In his words, he said it was the biggest social experiment.
Brother destroyed. Now the only weird part of it is he wears like that weird panda mask when he's talking
Oh,
at the beginning, which was kind of weird. I don't know why he had to do that, but he is like very. He's not frail skinny, but it's shocking to see somebody go from one moment being super big like that, and the next moment being like a healthy weight for his size and age. And I think people said that in his old videos, he has one where he said once he reaches 30, he's going to slow down with the mukbangs, or
yeah.
he was going to stop doing that kind of content or something. So I guess he lived up to his word. He just did it in secrecy and pulled the bamboozle, the most bamboozling of bamboozles.
I mean, he did it. Props to him.
I don't know much about him. I've seen memes of him here and there. Like I don't consistently watch his content or anything like that. But that is Penguin Zero did a video on it where he discussed it and talked about it, and he's doing it more justice than us because I'm not chronically online scouring everything that happens every single day. But it is impressive, and I don't know. Oh man, what a character! What a guy!
Yeah. Big boy. Oh, not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. I mean, he said he's gonna keep doing them. I would be like, how do you do it but then not put the wig back on?
I guess he'll actually go out, like, walk around now. I think before he was just shoving food in his mouth and just doing nothing all day.
Yeah, I don't know. So that is something that's like the biggest. I don't know if I'd say it's the biggest YouTube news, but it's certainly something that warrants attention.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel like the other big YouTube news that are worth paying attention to is all the people coming out as pedophiles. But I'm trying to
I
stay
feel like
away
this
from
is
that.
it's regularly covered here, it feels like.
Yeah, we finally got something different. I just had something on my mind that's not in the notes I was going to bring up, and I totally forgot about it. I'll think about it later on. Did you see the
You wanna go
Minecraft?
Minecraft movie?
Yes, we said the same
Oh,
thing.
dude. It hurt my soul, man.
Terrible.
How bad.
It's so
Dude, it's
bad.
been in development for so long, and I was like, I hope it's like animated, like Captain Spark. Like, just get them to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Point. It's so bad.
How the Mario movie was animated, if they had done it
Yeah.
to that same degree, I think it would have been good. Putting them in as like actual live action people, like Jack Black is literally playing Steve,
Yeah,
is
that was
weird.
such a weird casting choice.
It's weird.
He could have voiced him if they animated it.
Yeah, there's already the thing of, people who are really skilled on YouTube coming out and I made the Minecraft trailer but better, and it's them
Yeah.
reanimating it or doing whatever, and
And
those are already better.
Jason Momoa, like what are these casting choices?
Yeah, it just doesn't look good, and it's like the millennial humor. There's the girl and she sees
Yeah.
Jack Black and she rolls her eyes and she's like, "What a loser!" And it's like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
It's just like copy paste. If you haven't seen the trailer, go watch it. Leave a dislike. Hopefully, we can bully them into
Sonic, you
changing
gotta
it like
Sonic movie
Sonic. We gotta
Yeah.
Sonic them, dude. The power that fans have over companies, like with the whole Morbius thing, Sonic. Surely, if we bully them enough, they'll fix it, because that sucks.
It's bad.
For arguably the biggest game of all time, to have a movie like that's going to look like that, at least from what we saw from the trailer. Oh man, that sucks.
It's gonna be a rough one. I'm probably still gonna pirate it, but it's gonna be rough.
I feel like the Mario movie lived up to the hype, and it's a good
Yeah,
movie. Like the Mario movie is I feel like objectively good movie.
that's a solid movie.
For Minecraft being such a big game, and then to just have such a dumpster movie come out. Like even the Five Nights at Freddy's one was really good. I like the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
I was telling my roommate if they release another trailer and Herobrine turns out to be the villain, I will go to theaters to watch it just for that.
That would be worth it if they could do something. I don't know how. Like, how do you? Is it just another guy who's Herobrine, but his eyes
I don't know.
glow? You know, like I don't know what direction they would take with
It
that,
should
but that
have.
would be
There
pretty
has been
sick.
too many people. It should have just been Steve and Alex, and then they
Yeah,
figure out shit from there. Fight the Ender Dragon, do the Wither, all that shit. Maybe you encounter a Warden, and then Herobrine was behind it all.
yeah. I'm interested what the plot is gonna be, and there's no way they could lead it up to a second one because
Oh no.
I don't think like the Mario movie. I could see more happening, but Minecraft, I couldn't see making like a trilogy out of it, or even making a second one at all. I don't even see them making the first one right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But they did,
It's tough.
sadly.
It hurts. Yeah, bully them. Everybody listening to this, go to the Minecraft movie trailer, dislike it, and just tell them how bad it is. Tell them Sick Boy sent you. Tell them Crawdaddy sent you. Tell them that that movie will be barely noticed.
Oh.
Yeah, see what they
That's
do with
fine.
that.
I'm going to go dislike it now. I didn't even dislike it. I need to.
We have pool. We have that kind of pool. If you go, let them know. Actually,
There's 600,000 likes, bro.
nah, it's got to be worse than that.
Bots. They're bots.
It's got to be worse than
Barely watchable.
that. Barely want. Yeah, I'm going to leave a comment right now. Hold on, let me get this. Oh, I hope that didn't just play the trailer through the. Let's see here. This movie will be barely noticed, and my thumbs down is already there. Perfect.
There you go.
Anyways, back to our podcast. Do you have a strange or different kind of music that you just love to listen to?
I wouldn't say strange. Every once in a while, I listen to a little Spanish music. That's about it.
So I used to think people who listen to OSTs, original soundtracks for movies, was lame because there's like no singing typically, and it's just, the background score or whatever the case is. And I have
Yeah.
really been getting into it lately. There's the obvious ones like Star Wars, Indiana
Yeah.
Jones. I really like the one for The Batman with Robert Pattinson.
Mm.
Is it Patterson or Pattinson?
Pattinson.
Pattinson. Pattinson. And speaking of Batman, I was reminiscing of younger years as a child, and I thought I was heavy into Lego. Like I had so many Lego sets. I played all of the Lego games on my Wii growing up. Shout out if you played on the Wii, you a real one. The original Lego Star Wars saga, Indiana Jones, Batman. Did you ever play Lego Batman growing up?
Yeah, I couldn't get past like the first bit though, because I was a little dumb.
Dude, the Lego Batman soundtrack slaps. I was listening to it earlier today. It is so good. If you guys ever get the opportunity to listen to it, I have it pulled up on my browser right now. It's by a channel called Rings of Geonosis, and they have a playlist that is the entire Lego Batman soundtrack. It is so good. I was in the middle of doing something today where I was in the perfect scenario to just have some music on in the background. Like I'm not really thinking, just kind of doing whatever. And it is very, very good. If you like listening to movie soundtracks, having something on in the background while you edit, do homework, I would recommend that you give it a listen. The best one, it's got like 83 tracks on the soundtrack. I wouldn't say the best, but a good one to get started to is if you listen to, let's see here, Lego Batman music, Two-Face Chase in parentheses calm. If you listen to that and you think, hey, this is pretty decent, I like this, then you'll like everything else on it.
Or just anything John Williams has made.
My fan, it's so hot in here. I don't even know who produced the music for that game. Maybe we'll say in the description. Let's see. Lego Danny Elfman. Oh, because the score I think is from the Batman movie with Michael Keaton and Jack
Uh,
Nicholson.
Dude, okay, I was thinking, I was like, I feel like that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think that music is from the movies. They just put it in a Lego Batman game and then probably added some more songs to it.
Yeah.
It's really good. Listen to it. Do it. I'm telling you, you don't have a choice. Freaking do it. Just do it. Nike. What else have we got here in our notes? Oh, I had my birthday during the time that
Yeah.
we were not here for that week that we missed. I'm a big boy, 22-year-old now, moving on up in the world.
Can you confirm that I was the first one to wish you happy birthday?
Strangely enough, Crawdaddy was the first one. What were you doing? I woke up. I didn't. I woke up in the morning. I had a job interview on my birthday for the job that I have now, and Crawdaddy sent me happy birthday at 1:30 a.m. What were you doing at 1:30 a.m.?
I was just scrolling on YouTube. I didn't have class the next day. And then I just looked at the time and I was like, and the date, and I was like, oh, it's Christian's birthday. Guess I'll go ahead and send it because I'm gonna be waking up late.
I wasn't. I was happy he did it. Good friend of him to do that. Who says happy birthday at 1:30 a.m.?
Real ones, dog. Real
It
ones,
just
dude.
makes you wonder what he was doing at that time. But browsing YouTube is a lot less nefarious than I had thought that it
What you
was.
think I was doing?
I
Cruising the
don't know. I
streets?
thought maybe you were just like hammered drunk with your roommates or something, and you're just
No,
like, oh, by the way, it's Christian's
no.
birthday.
If I was hammered drunk, I wouldn't remember.
Okay, well, so for my birthday, I had a job interview that I had to do early in the morning, and I ended up getting that job. So that was a pretty good birthday gift because I didn't have one. And
You,
that,
you,
what's that?
you did get a birthday gift. Jackbox Games.
Yeah, the reason we even recorded the Jackbox Games video is because Crawdaddy bought that for me for my birthday for us to play. So
Boom.
the gift that keeps on giving, the job,
Yeah.
the gift that keeps on giving. I like practical items for my birthday, like getting a new pair of shoes. I'm going to wear those every day. Like those are something that are going to consistently be around. So if you like little stupid things for your birthday that you forget about in a month, you're silly and you should probably change your mindset. Get practical things. Ask for stuff, especially if you're older. Ask for things that are going to last, like
Some
shoes, clothes are a big one. What's another one?
I don't know, but some might say that those things are barely usable.
They are. They're barely usable. I mean, it's not
Keep
going to last. I say we're so used to making the joke of us having our own Gamer Supps drink that
yeah.
I bought more today that is going to be sent to me. And I was going to go, speaking of barely, or what was I? I was trying to think of a transition. I was going to be like, speaking of Gamer Supps, we don't even have our own flavor. We're just so delusional
Yeah.
talking about it all the time as a joke. No, I ordered some more today. I haven't got any in a while. I had the lean from Yummy, Isaac Y. Their like YouTube group is called, I think the group chat gaming funny moment guys. Theirs was really good. It was a grape and peach mix that
Hmm.
I had for a fat minute. That was really good. And I get the caffeine free. My body can't handle caffeine, I think, because I don't smoke or drink or I don't do any of that stuff. That caffeine like hits my body really hard and it makes me tweak and freak out.
Yeah. Get a little
So
methy.
when you go into the descriptions of the drinks, it'll tell you what flavor it is. So you might have like guacamole gamer fart is a flavor, but it'll be I don't even know what flavor that actually is, but it'll be like grape or something. Like it's just a crazy name to get your attention. So I wanted to get another one, and there is a drink flavor called Anime Girl Thigh High,
Mm.
which sounds so cringe and like I'm a loser who lives down in the basement who's obsessed with anime girls. But the flavor is like an orange creamsicle flavor. And because I just had like a berry fruity flavor, I didn't want to get another one like that. So that's the one that I got. I got caffeine free Anime Girl Thigh High. It's supposed to be orange creamsicle flavor, which I'm very interested to try. And something someone put in the review for it is if you get club soda, where it's just carbonated water, and then pour your Gamer Supps, whatever flavor you have in it, you essentially just turn it into a soda,
Oh, yeah.
which is actually a pretty good idea. So I think I'll be trying that when I get my my next one. People collect Arizona cans or Monster cans or whatever. I think I'm gonna start collecting every canister tub thing I get of Gamer Sups, and like my lean one I cleaned out and I got all the residue out of it. And I put my watches in it because they can roll up and they fit inside of it. And then maybe the next one I have I'll put spare change in it or something like that.
Collecting gamer sub cans until they sponsor us.
Exactly.
Day
Talking about
100.
them until they sponsor us. It will be kind of weird to explain that to somebody when they come into my room and they see anime girl thigh high and they're like, "Oh, what's that you have there?" So some of them might be a weird explanation, but I
What
am
if
a proud supporter of that company.
what if they look at you and they're like, so does it actually taste like anime girl thigh high?
And then some people in the reviews were, oh my gosh, hold on, I gotta find it. I was reading the reviews of the one that I bought today because I wanted to make sure it was like worth even buying. Can I go to my recently bought? Someone left a review where I was. It's those kind of people that you need to keep away from society. Here we go. It's from Joey Thick, and
Oh yeah.
the subject header for his review says "Yes, mommy." And then the
Ah,
review itself reads, "This will be the closest thing I will ever get to being able to get between a pair of anime girl thighs. Every sip makes me dream
yeah.
of my waifu and the want to lick the sweat between her thighs.
You gotta go outside, man.
Thankfully, I have this until I can get sucked into a VR world and never come out."
Oh man.
Joey,
I hope you're joking.
I really hope this is a satire review. And if it's not, please go outside.
You
Please.
gotta hope you're joshing, man.
Go get groceries. Go go for a walk. Go to the local park. Just do something, man. Go
Just
outside.
talk to somebody in person.
I think that one might be I say I think it might be a satire review, but you never know.
You never know at all.
Who knows? That could be another funny video idea that we do is going to products online and finding like cursed reviews or funny things
Yeah.
that people leave behind. We're just slowly turning into a reaction channel.
Go go to like like the sex toy reviews.
Oh
That'd be funny.
yeah. Oh, that would be a good one. Dang it. That's another video we have to make.
Have to, we get to. This is a privilege.
Shoo, you right. You right. Let's see what else we got on the list here. Seems like we've touched a bunch of stuff here. Let's go to the bottom. I see
Yeah, I know what you're looking at.
a girl from Tinder, Megamind memes Tyler. I can't wait to hear this.
Okay, for context, do you know the Megamind meme, the no bitches meme,
Yeah.
the Megamind head? So this girl from Tinder adds me, and she goes to the same school as me, and we're talking like snapping back and forth or whatever, talking, and then out of nowhere, it's like 1 a.m. I'm like, I'm sleepy, I'm tired, I'm a little out of it. She sends like a video, and it's her normal face. Like she somehow makes the camera go up, and her face does the exact face as the Megamind meme, and she sends it to me. I had to do a double take. I told her, "You did not just no bitches me," because
Shoot.
that shit's devastating.
So
And yeah, I just thought it was a
are you
funny
still
moment.
talking to her or was that her like roasting you?
Oh no, no, she wasn't roasting. I think she was just doing it as a funny thing. I'm still talking to her, bro.
Okay. All right. Going
I
well.
just thought that was a wild thing to just randomly do.
That would be crazy if you guys like ended up getting married or something serious happens and then we have this podcast where we talked about it so long ago.
Yeah, hurt me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Interesting. 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 That was very
It caught my
interesting.
eye.
Very interesting.
I just thought it was interesting to bring up.
So, as a child, there's a lot of different paths that people take when they get into video games. I was a big Nintendo guy, played a lot of Mario games, Lego Star Wars. I wasn't able to, my parents didn't allow me to have a Xbox until I was in the sixth grade, I believe. And it was a 360. My mom rather, would not let me play Call of Duty. I had to play FIFA, Transformers,
Oh, yeah.
everything else except for the fun stuff. And I missed out on the growing up playing games on PC. I think it is my favorite game of all time that I played on PC was Terraria, and that was like the only PC game that I had because I didn't know how to use Steam or install stuff onto a computer and all of that jazz.
Yeah.
And I missed out on Half-Life. Like the whole Half-Life thing, Gary's mod, like being worked on by the same kind of company and that same like I don't know if universe is the right word, but Half-Life, Gary's mod, Portal. I've never played those games, which might be good for videos in the future of first time playthroughs. I just was not around for that. And there's a guy on YouTube whose name is Kelski, Kelski, who does kind of like first time playthroughs of video games and makes video essays out of them talking about them. And he just recently played the Half-Life games for the first time. And the whole meme, I don't know if Crawdaddy knows about this, but maybe you guys listening do, of like Half-Life 2 ending on a cliffhanger and then they just never continued it. And it's been years and years and years and they don't have like any plans of doing anything with it. I get it now. After watching the playthroughs, him explaining the game, everything that goes into it, and then not getting it would be like if Marvel got to Infinity War. Which is the what was the last one? Infinity War or Endgame?
Endgame is the last one.
If they got to Infinity War and then just never released another movie, never teased anything, never talked about it. That's what like the Half-Life fandom lore is like. So I watched the playthroughs, the video essays of Half-Life. It looks like a great game. I'd love to play it sometime and have it as maybe some videos on my channel or just for personal enjoyment do it. Uh and it seems like Half-Life 3 may be on the horizon.
Oh,
There
that's
seems to
cool.
be some whispers of things going on that sort of like the old Five Nights at Freddy's like speculation, like going into the game source code and seeing there's certain lettering for certain things, and it seems like something may be coming up. So for those of you who do know what I'm talking about, it's time, my fellow gamers. It's
It's
almost
time to
here.
rise.
At least it seems like it. It seems like it. It could be just a huge we get stunned on and nothing happens, but it seems like something may happen.
Speaking of like gaming in general, did you hear about Black Myth Wukong?
So I have seen images of the cover art of the game of like the monkey wearing the armor, and
Yeah.
I have seen zero screenshots, zero gameplay, anything about it. I know nothing about it.
Dude, that game might win Game of the Year. It is very pretty. You know God of War, right?
Yeah.
It fight like I guess it's like that kind of game. It's like action story driven. There's little RPG elements or armor. And I didn't know this. The whole thing is based off a Chinese novel from the 1600s. Like the whole
Whoa,
like yeah, it's like a really
that's
like
deep.
deep game. And it's like I watched like the first little bit of the game with the intro and everything today. I was like, dang, this is like sick. And the game fights like an anime. If it looks sick.
I'll have to watch a playthrough of it. I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I definitely recommend watching it. It's good.
Another thing I've got in my notes here. For those of you who have Roku's or know of Roku's, you know like the home screen where it's the purple like sunset looking city going by.
Yeah.
I I remember seeing a meme one time of there was a guy and he said this is the thing that I watch the most, like instead of TV shows or whatever, just like sitting in your room and like the Roku home screen's on or you're trying to
Yeah.
decide what to watch. They have ruined it. It was such a nice thing. You see the sunset, the pretty buildings and not, and now they've put ads in it. Do you have a Roku, Tyler?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
So my fiance has one, so I see it pretty often. It's just filled with ads and advertising,
Uh,
and it's just ruined it. It's not the same. It used to be like that cool thing that was on in the background that you could just kind of leave on while you were doing whatever. Maybe it's like a nightlight when you were going to bed, and they
I know
have
before,
soiled
like
it.
before they had like there would occasionally be like a billboard that was kind of small and it's like have like a
Mm-hmm.
company name on it, but nothing too
Mm-hmm.
crazy. It's just like pop-up ads everywhere now.
They've integrated it into the setting of it a lot more. So there's like billboards, there's cars that drive by that have things on it. The buildings, it's
Ah,
like the Jumanji building or something like that.
oh
It's just like
man,
so blatantly shoving it in your face.
jeez.
It sucks.
Verizon.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing ruined by advertisements. That is something that annoys me to no end. Is the whole point for streaming existing was for you to be able to watch stuff on demand without trailers. That's the whole
Yeah.
reason streaming that Netflix even started. And then now there's streaming that has advertisements, and then there's paywalls where you have to purchase the more expensive version of it to not have advertisements. It
What
defeats
is
the entire purpose.
what does Netflix have that now? You have to like
I
pay
think
for no
so.
ads?
Yeah, I think to
Oh
certain
my
extents,
lord.
Disney Plus, Paramount, Peacock.
I I know those other ones have that. I didn't know that Netflix does now.
I'm pretty certain Netflix does. And it
Dang.
just it just defeats the whole purpose, dude. It's like that's why I'm not watching cable cuz I want to just
Yeah.
watch something straight away.
You know cable's coming back, right?
It seems
They're
like it
start
is.
they're starting a thing where they're like integrating all that streaming shit into like a cable bill, and it's like how they used to do cable, like how they used to advertise cable is like, oh, we'll put it in this extra bill with your phone line.
Yeah, yeah. I know DirecTV does that, right?
Yeah, I think it was DirecTV that did it.
I can see that being a thing. It makes sense. Everybody's got to make some bread. I tell you, I do not pay for subscription services. There's, at least off the top of my head right now, nothing that I can think of that I think is worth spending the money on. Like, everything that I've got, uh, Disney Plus, Netflix, I have it from other people, from sharing passwords and all of that. I don't pay for any subscription service, but with how much I watch YouTube and how much I'm on it, I'm very, very close to getting YouTube Premium. I cannot stand the ads before and in the middle of videos.
I was gonna say, I know why you don't have any streaming services. I know you'd be watching stuff.
Dude, I only
I know what link you're
watch.
using.
Oh well, yeah, yeah, that's true. Our pirated movie website. The only like quote unquote real TV I watch is because I'm a soccer fan. I like Barcelona or FC Barcelona, a team in Spain,
Yeah.
and they'll play on like Saturdays, Sundays, and maybe sometimes in the middle of the week. And that's the only time I'll actually watch real TV. Me and my fiance will sit down and watch them play, and we wear our jerseys and hang out. But other than that, like I'm not watching the news or anything else. I spend so much time on YouTube. I wish my phone, I'm sure it does, had a tracker of how much just of the YouTube app that I use. I watch
It does
so
weekly,
much YouTube. I know it does the weekly, but I want to know if it is like specifically
all
how much
time.
time yeah, like how Xbox used to do when it was your all
Yeah.
time, or Steam does it for games you play. I know your YouTube app on the Xbox got to be crazy.
Yeah, I would be scared to see
You
that.
got an achievement for how much YouTube you watched.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's how much. That's how
Yeah,
insane how
dude,
much time you
I
spent.
remember. I remember when it popped up. It was like one of the diamond ones, and it was like 0.000, like ridiculous. Like it showed the percentages of
Yeah, yeah,
players that
yeah,
got it. I was like, oh no.
brother. For that and Minecraft, Tyler has to be one of the people. Because I take that back. The only two games I grew up playing on the computer were Terraria and Minecraft. I played it in its heyday of that 2012, 2013 era. And I played a lot of it on there, but Tyler didn't have a PC, so him and our other friends would play it on Xbox growing up. So it was weird for me transitioning from going to PC to Xbox, like kind of taking a step back, one might say. And then Tyler did the more natural progression of like Xbox to PC, and that's another one you have to have ungodly hours on for the Xbox.
It amazes me how much we played it, considering it didn't have shit in it.
Yeah, it was so limited as compared to what was on the computer. And I'm
Like the
pretty
worlds were small.
Yeah, much smaller. You didn't have as many items. It took a long time for it to catch up. And I think we've spoken about it before, and if we did, I apologize. But on the Xbox, we would make these huge Hunger Games, hide and seek maps, tag maps, where we would just spend hours building whole
Yeah,
cities, whole worlds that if I could figure out how to do it to import it from my Xbox to put it onto the PC, we'll
dude.
definitely make a video out of it one day, whether we are actually playing anything or if it's just a walk down memory lane. Like these could be legit servers ran that other people could be playing and we
Yeah.
would just be bored and keep adding, and the most we'd have play was like 6 people. Like this should easily be like
Oh yeah,
40 to
it'd be
50 people playing.
yeah. Dude, it brings me back because I know in some of them Hunger Games, like like remember the bay, like the one that was on the bay, it had like a lighthouse, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
I remember I had like a secret chest in there with like some enchanted shit that if y'all were pissing me off, I'd go and grab it. I just
There is
hid somewhere.
a, you know, dude, we like the one he's talking about was this map we made that was on the bay on a coastline. And then there's an island a little bit out that had a big lighthouse on it, and you would go up super tall on the lighthouse, and you could see over the map. And then if someone's chasing you, you could jump down into the ocean or the water below you. And then we even made a sub, like a
Oh yeah,
submarine
I
under the
made that.
water that you
Yeah.
could swim in there and go in the sub. We put so much time and so much effort into making these hide and seek tag kind of maps that at most six people would play, and for no reason, like just because we wanted to do it and we had fun. I We didn't have Gary's mod, so those like Gary's mod games that you could play, the hidden, hide and seek, tag, we would just do that but make it in Minecraft. So for the hidden, if you haven't played it on the Gary's mod, on the Gary's mod, what? On Gary's mod, it's one person's invisible and has a knife, and then everybody else has guns, and you have to try to kill the person who's invisible, and the invisible person is trying to kill everybody else. It was kind of like Among Us before its time, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And we would recreate that in Minecraft where the hidden person would get like a super enchanted bow that would be oh no, I'm sorry. The soldiers would get a super enchanted bow that was one or two shot, and then the hidden would have a sword that was enchanted to be like a one hit, and then you would drink invisibility potions. It was so, man, I'm getting so nostalgic thinking about it. It was
No.
so much fun. We spent so much time playing on those and building them. We'd build giant statues of our
Oh
own
yeah.
characters that were around the map. So then, like everywhere you
Yeah.
looked, were giant statues of people who played on the map.
To the
Dude,
pixel.
yeah, just so much effort put into building these maps and making them.
And we were like 13, which is crazy to me.
I've got my 360 and my one with me. I'll have to look that up after this to see if there's some way to hook it up or transfer files to put it on a
Yeah.
computer, because that would be really cool to go back and look at those.
I know the statue one's on your one.
Yeah, there's a really really early one that we made on the 360.
Yeah.
That was a
We kind
pretty
of recreated it and the
yeah.
base of the next one.
Yeah, that's right. And then the most of the
Three.
other ones are on the one there. I mean, we made, oh, dude, I'm like getting so caught up thinking about it. It was awesome. It was so cool. I'm so
Yeah.
happy we
Good
grew up
times.
in a time where I got to play Minecraft as a heyday as a kid.
Yeah.
You ever think about that? How lucky you are, or how fortunate, or whatever you want to say, the odds that you grew up and are living in the time you're living in now.
Yeah, I'm glad we grew up with Minecraft instead of Fortnite.
Oh yeah, that's true. Growing up with Minecraft over Fortnite is so much better. Growing up with Minecraft, Terraria, the original old school Call of Duties, the search
Yeah.
and destroy lobbies on like MW2, just good times, man.
I remember just being in school, like thinking about what I'm gonna build when I get home, like like something I could build, or like what I gotta do for the world, what farm I gotta make.
Yeah,
Good
everybody,
times.
everybody says that though. Your parents are like, "I'm happy I grew up in my time," and your grandparents say
Yeah.
that. But I am so happy. I mean, besides like the technology taking over everything and people, spend more time on their phones than conversing, or
Yeah.
there are negatives to everything obviously, but I am so happy I've grown up in the time that I am now. I wouldn't trade it for anything. There are things that I would maybe trade that happened, but as far as like the time period I've grown up and lived in, I'm happy. I'm content. I love it.
I'd say we got the better end of the technology stick though, because I mean, imagine people younger than us, they're worse.
Growing up during the people figuring out the internet
Yeah.
is crazy I mean, they're your parents where they're like, "Oh, I'm older than Google," or whatever. But growing up
Yeah.
in the time where you were part of the people that were figuring out how to use the internet, and YouTube, video games, memes, which are so popular nowadays, uh, it's a very interesting time in history to be a part of.
It'll be looked back on, like I feel like it'll be looked back on like the 80s.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be studied. Like when our kids are in class in the future and how we learned about the 80s and 70s and things growing up, people are gonna learn about the technology boom of the 2000s and
The
uh,
dawn of the internet.
yeah, man, and all the transfer of data, and it's gonna be very interesting. I mean, it must be like what our parents think now when you ask them questions about the 80s or 70s, and they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, back when I was, there's gonna be a time when your kid will be like, Dad, what was it like when Minecraft came out?" That's a crazy sentence to think of, or a
They're gonna be like,
situation.
back in the 2000s, cash pretty much became obsolete. Everyone used a credit or debit card.
Yeah, if we even make it that far, we'll see.
Yeah.
With Russia being silly.
I can't forget all the fun in the Middle East, man.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world, but we talked about
And a
this last
little
time.
North Korea. Oh, yeah, right. I've talked about it.
Oh yeah, North Korea, who said that they're just gonna start exponentially making more nuclear missiles.
Good times to live in.
Love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, on that depressing note, I think we might end a little bit earlier today because I've got some stuff I got to get to. We're at just about 57 minutes, 56, 57 after I edit it and cut some time down, probably be around 55 or so. So a little bit of a smaller episode today. We apologize for the break we had to take last week. Crawdaddy was busy with school. I was just way too busy to be able to record between traveling, working, doing a bunch of things. But we're back and we're here. I say it every single episode. We're still going to see about getting guests. It's hard to figuring out with people's work schedules, or not like we're professional YouTubers who do this for a living. So
Yeah, we got jobs.
we'll still work on guests. I think that's all I have for this week. This Friday coming out will be a nice reaction video that Crawdaddy and I are trying our hand at on my channel. This podcast, I should say, will be out this Friday. Crawdaddy, you got anything in the works coming up?
Still working on that CS video. I haven't had time to really get into it, but I'm like halfway done with it.
He's
All
working
the
on a
major
CS
bits.
video. I think I have one more video in the month of September that I'll edit that will be some kind of funny moments, something video, and then I'm going to try to work on some Halloween stuff for October.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to try to keep my regular uploads with my new job I've gotten. Yeah, exciting stuff coming up in the future. We thank you guys so much for listening. Our last podcast actually did really well.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Normally our podcasts who have guests are the ones that do well. I guess I'll bring it up because we're talking about it now. Our last podcast is our second most viewed one now, and it seems like the views are still going up. And we just appreciate that from you guys. As being smaller YouTubers, when you work a lot of time on editing a video or doing the podcasts, I mean, an average video for me, depending on what it is, like a Jackbox Games or Cards Against Humanity, that takes multiple days to edit that. Like those take 2 to 3 days to edit. A typical BattleBit CSGO video takes 6-7 hours to edit. And when you put that out and you get really small view numbers on it, or like nobody sees it, obviously you're small, so you're going to be barely noticed. You're going to be barely noticed, or people aren't going to see it. But it can be a little discouraging because it's like, I just put in all this time and effort for what? So when we do the podcast or we put up videos and you guys watch the videos, you share it with others, or if the algorithm picks it up, it does mean it. It does mean a lot. I know it does to me. I'm sure it does to Crawdaddy because I've had my days where I'm like, do I even want to keep doing this? Is this even worth doing? And as of right now, I would say it is. So we thank you guys for listening, whether it's on Spotify or YouTube. We thank you for watching our videos, keeping up with our content. And even though we might have a very small fan base, we are very, very appreciative of it. With that being said, that is this week's podcast of Barely Noticed. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time. See ya.
R.I.P. Petey.
R.I.P. Petey. Dang, bro, I forgot R.I.P. Petey. Okay, bye.
All right, bye.